Hello, my name is Hassan Sorrells, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast shorts. There's no co-host on these shorts episodes. These are now around 2 to 4 minute, sometimes as long as 6 to 10 minute observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and even the theology of leadership. Because listening to me talk about leadership for now around 2 to 4 minutes is still better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Even that business book your coworker won't stop raving about because it quote-unquote changed their life, but you can't see any difference in their leadership behavior. So how good could that author be? Critical analysis of leadership also requires a robust defense of leadership. Such a defense is often difficult because in the United States, our dominant business culture, the culture of corporations and Fortune 500 companies, is rife with the infection of cultural and social nihilism in the same way that the dominant aspects of other parts of our big quote-unquote culture are, from Hollywood films all the way to higher education. A defense of leadership is difficult when an individual or an institution does not have the cultural courage or even the cultural confidence to mount a defense of its own existence. Instead, defenses fall when bureaucratic word salad replaces simple sentences. Cultural courage wanes in the face of a lack of an objective standard that exists external to leadership or anything else itself. This is why we talk about the Bible on this podcast all the time, not merely as a hoary old book that continues to divide and defy the social media and internet algorithms that run so much of our lives. But the Bible is also a book that provides an objective standard for leadership behavior, whether you like it or not. And all in simple sentences anyone can understand. Gatekeeping is the practice of defending and excluding ideas from the thing a leader is trying to build. Everything cannot be designed for everyone. Everything isn't for everybody. And if exclusivity didn't exist, luxury brands would just go away tomorrow. But human beings like knowing who's in and who's out. Gatekeeping protects fragile ideas and fragile cultural and social products, such as competent, clear-eyed leadership, from the grasping hands of everyone who wants, quote-unquote, in, because being in is cooler than being out. There are things about leadership worth defending, and a leader who wants to travel beyond competency and journey into the space where the battle with mass culture, even mass within a very narrow specific niche, really lies, will summon the cultural courage as well as the moral, ethical, and financial courage to engage in the practice of robust gatekeeping. And that leader will teach others how to do likewise. And well, that's it for me. Thank you for listening to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast today. And now that you've made it this far, you should subscribe to the audio version of this show on all the major podcast players, including Apple iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, and everywhere else where podcasts are available. There's also a video version of our podcast on our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to the video version of this podcast on the Leadership Toolbox channel on YouTube. Just search for Leadership Toolbox and hit the subscribe button there on YouTube. And while you're doing that, leave a 5-star review if you like what we're doing here on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Just go below the player and hit 5 stars. We need those reviews to grow, and it's the easiest way to help grow this show. And tell all your friends, of course, in leadership. By the way, if you don't like what we're doing here, well, you can always listen to another leadership show. There are several other good ones out there. At least that's what I've heard. All right. Well, that's it for me.